Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Patty. I'm also called an arty gal, and today we are going to be coloring in my book, Hand-Drawn Mandalas with 3D shading, and I'm going to do it a little differently. Normally I use my book, or I'll color in another artist's book, and I color it, record it, and speed it up and put some music to it. But today I thought that I would color in real time, and we'll see how it goes. So this is the page that I'm going to be working on. I call it Mermaid. I don't know what this is called. I believe it's a Zentangle. When I was creating my book, I was doing a lot of Zentangle videos on YouTube, watching them live and watching them, as they're played back. And my favorite YouTube person is Cindy Pelly from the Tireless Tangle. Tireless Tangler. I've learned so many incredible things from her. She's just an amazing instructor, amazing person. And I don't know if we drew this one together on one of her videos or if it came out of my head. I just don't remember. But anyway, we're going to color this one, and we're going to be using Arteza pencils. I've got 5 colors picked out right now, and that's what I'm going to color the outside of this with. And we are going to start at the bottom of my page. Now you can see that I printed this out of the book just because it's easier on to color this way. I have never seen anybody do this before. I think I came up with something new with my coloring book. My coloring pages are generally square if they're mandalas, which leaves me this nice area down at the bottom where I can swatch my pencils. So if I'm working on a coloring, I can see that these are the pencils that I used, and let me show you how I do that. So I know that today is September 2nd, so 9/2/21. Colorist is me, Patty, with a Y, and the media type is Arteza pencils. And this is how I like to work it. I like to swatch them out, just like I would if it was a swatch book, just to give myself an idea of what I'm looking for. And this one is number 17. Then we'll go to, what number is this one? 66. I think I want to go with 89. There we go, 89. And I'm just doing this as a really rough swatch. I'm using about medium pressure. Normally I color with a very light pressure. 89. And then I'm going to go with 106. I've already colored this page once before with the same colors, so I'm kind of looking off at my reference on the side. That's the beauty of being able to print it off as opposed to coloring it in the book. And if you have one of my books, feel free to go ahead and print one of the pages, take a picture of it, print it. Contact me if you would rather have a PDF, and we can figure something out. Okay, so there are those 3. And I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself a little swatch of these 3 blended. Oh, that's not the right pencil. That is not the right one. So I want number 17, right there, number 89, and number 106. I'll just give a little bit of shading here. And then just a little bit more. See, light, medium, and dark. Okay, and this doesn't need to be pretty or anything, it's just to give myself a reference. And when I colored this the first time, I actually made a mistake, but I liked the mistake, so I'm going to do it again when I color this one. This is just really easy coloring right here. I'm just blocking in some color. I'm not really playing too much with it. Just blocking in the color. I really would like to have coloring feel all-inclusive. So if you're someone who is having some difficulty with your dexterity, I still want this to be a pleasant and enjoyable experience for you, and I want you to know that it doesn't matter if you go outside the lines. It's okay. It's okay. And you know, if you are someone that's like coming back from a stroke, or someone that's, you know, having to relearn how to write or you know, or color, and you get frustrated, try it with your other hand. Try it with the non-dominant hand, because sometimes that makes a difference. Not always, but sometimes it does. So I'm just going to go every other one with this number 17 Arteza pencil. I hope you guys are all doing well today. It's a kind of a rainy day here in Florida. Usually the rain comes every day in the summertime, but it doesn't always last all day. But we've got the remnants of Hurricane Ida, which just devastated so many areas. Louisiana, it's still going on all the way up through the New England and heading up that way. And I hope that you all are safe and dry and comfortable. I don't even like to look at the news. It's just so incredibly frustrating and scary, and I like to keep my head in my coloring book and stay away from things that I cannot control. So you see the 3D shading that's already built into this page. Like right here, it looks like it's kind of going underneath this black portion. I just wanted to give it a little bit extra when I created this. The whole book is that way. When I started making the book back in January, I had mandalas, and I didn't do the shading. And I did and then I started to do, some of them had the shading, some of them didn't. And I was ready to publish, and I looked at them all and I said, you know what, I'm going to go back and shade all of them. And that's what I did. I hope you enjoy it. See, I just went out of the lines right there. I don't mind. Sometimes it's just the act of putting marks on paper. It's not even about the end result. It's about enjoying this journey of just putting color on a piece of paper. The sound of the pencil on the paper, the smell of the pencils. I love to color. When I was a child, I colored all the time. If anybody wanted to make me happy, they'd bring me a coloring book and some crayons. But as an adult, you know, I always thought, oh, you have to leave childish things alone. You know, when you grow up, you're not supposed to do that kind of stuff. Those are for kids. But I was still an artist, and I got leukemia. And during chemotherapy, a friend brought me an adult coloring book and some colored pencils. That was such an amazing gift, because what it said to me was, oh, it's okay if you color. And so when I got home from chemo that day, I turned on YouTube And just for kicks, I wondered if anybody was coloring on YouTube, and I found this incredible community of people. Kate from Kate's Coloring, Kate's Haven up in England. Oh, such a sweetie, such a sweetie. Donna, so many colorists, so many, you know, and I found that I didn't always have the strength to sit there and color, but I could watch these beautiful people coloring on screen, and I watched their hands, and it just helped me. It helped me. I know that they weren't my hands that were coloring, but it gave me that same feeling of relaxation, you know, like making something. So even though I wasn't actually doing the coloring, watching these people really, really helped me. And so now it's just my turn to kind of give back. And I started off with, you know, just making short videos. And we'll see if anybody is interested in this long one. This is going to be a test video. So I hope you pull out some pencils and a picture, color along. And if you don't have a coloring book or pencils, just take out the back of an envelope and just shade it. Just put some pencil lines down. I did a video on one of my coloring pages using only a Dollar Tree pencil, showing that you can color even if you don't have any supplies. I'm a big fan of Crayola. I think Crayola makes a decent colored pencil. But my favorite pencils are these Arteza ones. Okay, so now for the second color, which is number 89, right here. I'm going to go in and do all these with this color, and then we'll do some shading. One of the things I've noticed on my coloring pages is that I don't know if my light is too harsh or something, but it appears to be lighter than it is in real life. So today I'm trying to put a little bit more pressure than I normally do, just so it will show up a little bit more. Actually, when I finish this little part, I'm going to change the lighting and see if it makes a difference. Okay, let me just see what happens here when I change the lighting. A little bit better. Bear with me. I don't think I'm going to keep it at that. It's probably the same as it was, I'm not sure. Okay, so where was I? I was on number 89. This one right here. I like to keep my pencils really sharp. And when I'm doing blocking in, the pencil gets worn down a little bit right there. And I kind of like to keep the pencil in that worn down area. It fills up the space a little bit quicker. Oh, the other thing I'd like to talk about is gender. A lot of boys think that they can't color because it's a girl's thing, but it's not. Coloring is a people thing. It doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, if you're 5 or if you're 95. If this is what you like to do it, embrace it, enjoy it. I'm going to try not to go out of the screen area. The way that my camera is set up, it's so close I can't get the whole page in one go. I mean, I could buy another tripod, but right now I'm just going to focus on what I've got, make it work. I hope that this variety, I mean, that's not the right word, these two colors are showing up on screen. They're close, but slightly different. One's got a little bit more blue in it. Okay, so now we've gotten all the way around, and I am going to use a darker color. Well, actually, I'm still going to use this 89, which is this bluish color. I'm going to use this in the green color. Sharpen my pen. Depth, extra depth. I want to emphasize this shadow down here. Really make it look like it's tucking underneath this little black spot. So there would be a shadow coming down like right about here. And this one's going to cast a little bit of a shadow as well. Now the light would probably fall across and leave a little bit of a highlight. So I'm just going to add a little bit extra color to the top of these. And then I'm going to skip this area right here, and it's going to look like a highlight. Especially when it's all the way around the whole circle. I'm just going to blend it a little bit. Yeah, I think that's good. As my hand still colors. Okay, so that's what we'll do all the way around. I think next time I need to sharpen my pencil, I will use my hand one. That was a very loud noise, and I apologize for that. Right up and under there. Add some color up to the top. This one really looks like it's going up and underneath there. I wish I could remember if this was an actual Zentangle that I was doing, or if this is one that I just did on my own. I don't remember. I just don't remember. And I'm just going to turn my page. Since I'm going to be doing this live, when I did the pages that I sped up, I didn't turn it, just because it would look weird as it's going fast. Be hard to watch. But since this isn't in my book, and we're doing real time, see this shadow right here? I'm going to cast up a little bit more. Here we go. Okay, we'll turn it again. Again, out of the lines, doesn't matter. So this is a brand new channel. I wonder if anybody's going to watch this. We'll see. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you watched it, if you enjoyed it, if you'd prefer this or if you'd prefer the sped up version. Maybe a little mix of both. My schedule for putting videos up, I want to do at least one video every week. More if I can. I guess the algorithm really likes it when you add videos consistently. We're going to be doing some Zentangle on this channel too. Right now I'm just focusing on the coloring aspect of it, but I also want to do some Zentangling. My favorite coloring book artist is Joanna Basford. Not just because of her books are amazing, but she is just such a sweet, sweet soul. Joanna Basford, she's got her own channel. You can go watch hers. She's really an incredible person. I think she's in Scotland, and during the pandemic, which is still happening, but during all the lockdowns, she put out coloring pages for free. And this is a woman who could command the dollar and really make some money on it, and she didn't. She put out this whole beautiful coloring book just for the community to download, just to give people something to do when they were locked down with the virus. Such a sweet soul. So thank you, Johanna. Plus, she put out a book on how to draw, which is really fantastic. It's one of the best how to draw books I've ever seen, because she says anyone can draw, and she's right. She's absolutely right. If you can spell words on paper, you can make those same shapes and turn them into flowers and wreaths and mandalas or whatever you want. I hear people say, "Oh, I couldn't draw a straight line." but that's not exactly true. I mean, just look at the word true, T-R-U-E. There you have it. There's lines right there. All those lines you can mix and match to make flowers and draw something pretty. Okay, I'm wondering if my pencil's sharp enough. Yeah, I guess it's okay. Give it a little twirl. I had a friend ask me if I drew these in the computer, and no, I didn't. I drew all of these in my book on the iPad, but I didn't use any drawing enhancements. You know, like I've got 2 other books that are available, and both of those I drew in Adobe Illustrator, and I only had to draw a little section of the mandalas, and then the computer filled it in, which I thought was really amazing, you know, the way that works. And so I published 2 books like that, and then I just wanted something more. I wanted a hand-drawn quality. I wanted there to be imperfections. I wanted there to be, you know, thicker lines and lighter lines. So this time I did the whole hand-drawn thing. I don't know if you heard my dog. He just sighed. It's the sweetest dog sigh. He's sleeping down by my feet. He's got his little bed in here. I have a studio, and I've got I've got 3 spaces to sit and to draw, and I've got a big area on the floor where he keeps his bed, because we spend a lot of time in here, and he hangs out. Sometimes he's on the bed, sometimes he's just on the floor. He's a big guy. He is a Scottish Deerhound mixed with German Pointer. And I'll see if I can't insert a photo here of him. He's just adorable. He kind of looks like a Dalmatian, because he's got the spots from the German Pointer, and he's got the wire hair from the Scottish Deerhound. He's an interesting guy. I just love him. His name's Bubba. Bubba. Oh, there he is. Hey, Bub. Now I'm treating this all as one section, but if you color this, you could make each one of these little petals or fin shapes, whatever. You could make each one of these stand out, and I'll do that on one of the blue ones. I'll show you how I did that to make them all stand out. So here we are all the way back at the beginning again, and we're going to start with 106, which is a darker blue. It's this one right here. We're going to go in, and I'll show you what I meant by you can do this with each of these little shapes, just by shading the inside right here. See how it kind of makes it pop under the one that's next to it, its neighbor? Still giving it the shade at the top. It just gives it a little bit more dimension. And see how the light is making it go down this way. It's still in the same area as this highlight. got another book I've started. I'm not quite sure what the theme is going to be because I've got so many different things going on in it. I've got some flowers, I've got some abstracts. I'm not going to do any more mandalas, I don't think, in this book. I want it to be different. What kind of things do you like to color? Leave me a note in the comments. I'll see if I can draw something that you like. I think what I'm going to do, since I have this channel now, I think what I'll do is I will have some of the pages that I do, we can color them here even before they're published, and I can even send it to you if you like, and you can color along. I think that would be fun. You get some of your ideas into a coloring book. So a little bit about me. I'm a graphic artist by trade, and I love to do pet portraits, painting them digitally. I've got to say that I really love the whole digital aspect of making things, because even though I've got a studio, I really like that I can just turn it off and the mess is cleaned up. Boom, there it is. So the portraits that I do would probably be best done in oils if they were done traditionally, and they take a long time to dry. And I'm not really a big fan of the way that oil paint smells. After going through chemo, things smell funny, they taste funny. I've always been a tea drinker, and I don't know what the deal is with that, but I'm not particularly fond of tea anymore, and I drink coffee, which, if you've known me at all, you know that's really odd, because I've never really liked the taste of coffee. I like the smell of coffee, but I never liked the taste of it. And now I drink it every day. I drink decaf though. I'm very thankful to be in remission. There's another young man that I found on YouTube. I think his name is Ryan, and he has Color and Recover on his channel. He does a lot of lives and art hauls, coloring book hauls, pencils. Seems like a very nice young man. think I am going to give this a little bit of a sharpen. Couldn't find my little sharpener doohickey, so I turned off the video and put it in the electric one. But now I have my little doohickey, so I will sharpen as I need to. So the pencil sharpener that I have is an X-Acto School Pro, and it's a big heavy duty beast. And the reason I got it was because on the description it said it works well for colored pencils. However, when it was delivered and I'm looking at the little manual that came with it, it says do not use colored pencils. So I don't know. It works. Hopefully it will last. I had a jar link pencil sharpener which worked really well. It gave beautiful points, but the motor on it just like bottomed out on me. I mean, I can't complain. I had it for a couple of years and it was, you know, used a lot. What's the matter, bub? What's wrong, honey? What's wrong? Just a second. What, Bubba? I've got the door closed to the studio, and I think he wants to go explore. I'll be right back. Here you go. He's probably going to go find his ball. You can definitely see the hand-drawn quality right here. You see how loopy that one is? And these are really straight. I like that. Just little imperfections, just little human touch. So on my iPad, I've got the Apple Pencil, and it's amazing how much it feels like a real pencil. You can press down and you get, you know, the pressure from the pen. So you can get a fat line or a skinny line depending on which brush you're using. They call them brushes, but they really feel more like a pen. If you're interested in seeing how I draw on the iPad, let me know in the comments and we can maybe make a video about that. When I'm editing this, if I've seen that I've gone out of frame, I'll just fast forward through that part. It's always fun to learn something new. You know, and creating a YouTube channel, man, there's a lot of things to learn. There's, you know, doing whatever it is that you're going to be doing on camera, and then there's editing, and then there's, you know, what graphics to use with it and how to put it together, how to splice it. There's a lot to learn, and I'm a firm believer in learning something new every day. Keeps you young. Okay, now we've made it all the way around. I think that the color is showing up okay on camera. So I'm going to use yellows in these little loopy things. And the yellow I'm going to use is off camera. This one. I'm going to use these two. You can see I use this one quite a lot. It's one of my favorites. It is, I think it's called Sunflower. It's worn off there. It's number 16, and then Yellow Sapphire, number 28. And I'll do the same thing down here that I did with the green-blue colors. My lightest one first. Some colorists like to do the darker colors and then work their way into the light. I like to do the light into the dark. It's just a matter of preference, whatever works for you. 16. And I think I'm going to use a little bit of orange as well. Nope, that one's too much. But this one. Let's do this one. Oh yeah, that's a nice soft orange. It's actually called Pumpkin. You heard my dog just sigh. Mm. He sounds like an old man. Okay, so I am going to start out with this light color. And I'm using fairly hard pressure to color this one in. And then from there, I'll go to my next color. We'll do a bit of a shadowy area. Maybe a little highlight right here. And then I'm doing a fair pressure here as well. I'll bring in this little bit of orange, just a little dollop right there. Like the sun's hitting it right there, boom. Maybe a little bit in the shadow. Yeah, there we go. We'll do that around. Okay, next I go like light, medium, dark. The nice part about a mandala is each of these parts are so similar that you could try out a new technique and decide which way you like it to go. You know, in each one of them, since they're, you know, fairly similar in shape and in color. Although the next one that I'm going to do, the next page I'm going to do, is going to be all rainbow. The whole thing is going to be rainbow colors. Oops, I did this one with the wrong color. This was supposed to be the light, but that's all right. It still works. It's supposed to be this color. It's okay. Happy little accident right there. Kind of like that anyway. Now we'll put this orange. The good thing about a mandala is if you think that you made a mistake, go ahead and make the same mistake all the way around and it will blend in and no one will ever know. Oh, excuse me, I just sneezed. Okay, so that looks kind of cool. Now we're going to do the inside and then these little braids. Actually, I think I'm going to make, I'm going to make the inside of this match these yellows. So I may as well do that now. Sharpen my pencil. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but they say that the best way to sharpen your pencil is to hold your pencil stationary and to move this around. It gives you a really nice point. I always did it the other way around. I moved my pencil and hung on to the sharpener. But really it's the sharpener that needs to go round and round. I'm not sure why that is. I just know it works. Okay, so we're going to do the same treatment on this. It sounds like somebody's mowing their lawn, or it's the motorcycle next door. I'm not sure which. They both sound very similar. I think this is the motorcycle, actually. I apologize if that's annoying, that sound. Use this color to get down into this shadow. Oops. And get a little bit here so it looks like it's going down inside of that black. Leaving this little bit of the lighter yellow as a highlight. It also gives the illusion of a little bit of a bend. So it looks like it's like coming from here and coming up and around and bending down in there. Can you see what I'm doing? This pencil is so small. I don't want my hand to get in the way. Welcome back, Bob. Now we're just going to give a little bit more shadow with this orange. We'll do the same in the shadow areas. See how it brings it right up? Makes it looks like it's coming out from underneath this black line right here. Cool. Okay. We'll do these lines above. It almost looks like a little gold or metallic-y kind of a thing right there. I'm skipping the mid shade on this one just because it's such a tiny little area. There. Oh, missed a little spot right there. Okay, so I'm back. I picked out some blue colors to do the inside portion right here. And we're going to do those as a mixture. So let's start by putting them down here. These are still Arteza pencils. 68. $32, and our deepest color is going to be 70, blueberry. Okay, let's also do a little blend here. Just to see how they all look together. What you whining about, bub? Yeah, I like that. Okay, so let's start out with our lightest color. Did we lose some lighting here? Oops, sorry. Let's see if this works a little bit better. No? Okay. Here, I just want to be consistent with the color and the pressure that I'm using. Because if I use different pressure in different sections, it's going to come out, with a darker color or a lighter color. And again, I'm using that little flat spot on my pencil. And I just color with little circles. Sometimes a little back and forth. If you color and you wind up getting lines in your color, see how you can't really tell where the color was? Let me flip this over. I'll show you what I mean. If you color like this, straight up and down, and then you move over here, it's hard to blend this line in. So if you just color in circles, they all blend together. I'm using a fairly good pressure here. pretty light color. It's really just giving me a base. Just put my shadows and highlights on. And what I really like about having the swatches down at the at the bottom under here is that I can come back to this anytime and see exactly what colors I used. And some people do the same thing, but they use like a little sticky note. But if you have it actually in the book, then you're using the same paper to make your swatches on, to make your decisions, what your colors you're going to use, as it's the same paper, so you're not going to get a different result. If you use a sticky note, it might be yellow background, or it might be a pink background, and when you put your colors down, they might look a little bit different than they do on the coloring book. This coloring book, I gave it black pages on the back side, and it does change how the colors look on the front side. Okay, so now I've got that all done. We'll go in with our middle tone, which would be number 32. I usually use at least 3 colors in an area, usually. I've been known to use 6 and 7 colors in an area, but I think that would be kind of boring to watch. But maybe not. I don't know. Let me know if you'd like that, if you'd like to see how I do that. And I really layer it up with the colors. Oh, looks like I missed a spot of yellow there. Need to fix that. That's another reason to have the colors down here, because what if I didn't realize that I missed that spot until much later? There we go. Okay, and back to 32. And I'm going to leave this part in here as highlight. Go with my darker color. And I like to go just a little bit smaller. See how I came all the way out here? I'm not going to come out quite that far with this darker color. I just want to have the shadow emphasized a little bit. You can shade with black as well, and you'll get a decent result, as long as you're not too heavy-handed with it. For shadows and getting into little tight spots, I really like my pencil to be sharp. But see how you get the nice gradation there? Let me sharpen this pencil a little bit. I missed my little bucket. This is just a little bucket that I got at the Dollar Tree. I also have a really cute one. It looks like a trash can. It's too big for this spot right now, but I use that for my pencil shavings too. Okay. Number 32. Here's the next color, which is number 70. It just gives that illusion of depth. You're looking down into it. These little ropey things or braided things are casting a bit of a shadow. No barking, Bob. Good boy. Now, you can see where I've gotten some of the color onto this black part. If that bothers you, just grab a micron pen or a black Sharpie or something, and you can just redraw this black area. It doesn't bother me at all, though. I'm using 3 colors to get this depth, but in all honesty, you could do the same if you used 1 color just by varying the pressure of your pencil. Here we are with the darker color. I started playing with some watercolor pencils, or similar to watercolor pencils. They're called Derwent Ink Tints, and when you color like you normally would, and then you add water as though it was a watercolor pencil, but instead of watercolor, it's actually ink, which is really cool. You can get some really neat effects with it, and when it dries, you can layer it up. Meaning if you're using a watercolor and it dries and then you wet it again, you're just going to lose some of the pigment that you've already put down. With the ink tints pencils, you're not going to lose that, because you can it's not water soluble because it's ink, it's not watercolor. I have no idea how they came up with a water-based ink, but man, somebody thought of it and somebody created it. And this somebody enjoys it. Another reason why you might want to scan the pictures and print them out is the paper. The paper of my books are Amazon paper, because they're printed through Amazon, and the paper quality isn't great. So what I've done is this paper is a little bit thicker. This is called Nina cardstock. It says it's cardstock, but it's actually just a pretty thick paper, and the colors come out pretty nice on here. And you can use the watercolor, you can use whatever. The only thing to be careful of is if you're printing these yourself, depends on your printer. You don't want to use ink and then use water, because then the lines from the page will bleed. But if you've got a laser printer, it won't bleed. I don't have a laser printer, but I do have a print shop that's pretty close, and I can bring my colors down there, my pages down there, and have them print them for me. It's not too expensive. Going with the darker color now. Oop, a little bit darker there, but that's okay. Blend it in. So I look forward to hearing from you and telling me, what kind of things you like to color, what kind of things you'd like to see me draw for my next book. And we'll see if we can get some of those in there. I love abstracts, but I like clean abstracts. By that, what I mean by that is I like I don't like them to be messy. I don't like the lines all messy. I like nice clean lines. This is considered an abstract. but this is, I believe, is a Zentangle. But I don't remember. I don't know if it's a Zentangle that came out of my imagination or if it came out of one of the videos that I watched on YouTube with Cindy Pelly, the Tireless Tangler. She's amazing. She is such a really good teacher. She's just amazing. She does 100 days of Zentangle, and I found her at the beginning of the year, and I was actually really surprised that there was, that Zentangle was a thing, because I like to make marks on paper just to make marks on paper, just see where the pencil brings me, which is, back to that abstract. And Zentangle already had, patterns that they use, like when you're doodling at school and you leave like a little doodle marks on the side of your margins in your notebooks. Well, Zentangle does that, and it's so relaxing because you don't have to really think about it. You have to learn what the tangle is, and then once you've learned it, you just follow the steps of the tangle and see where the pencil brings you. I think we need another sharpening. Hopefully this will be the last sharpening for these colors. Oh, and if you're interested in purchasing my book, it's available on Amazon. The best way to find it, because there's so many Mandala books on Amazon, the best way to find it is just to put Patty Duffy in the search bar. And all my books should show up. I've got more than just coloring books. I've got some journals, and I've got a really cool book called Where's My Money? It's a 28-day workbook so that you can chart where all of your money goes. So keep the book with you and then write down every time you buy something. Just, there's a spot for it in the book. And I'll be honest with you, it's hard to do because you really have to be disciplined to look at what you're doing, how you're spending your money. But it's eye-opening. Here's a quick example. Let's say that you go to work and you stop at 7-Eleven and you get yourself a coffee and maybe a candy bar or gas, whatever it is that you need. Well, that coffee and the candy bar is only under like $3, right? Sometimes $4. If you go to Starbucks, it's going to be more, of course. But if you add up how much that one coffee and that one candy bar costs you for the whole week, you know, it's still not too bad. But then you go look at it for the whole month, and then most shocking of all is how much did it cost me for a whole year? And that's when you go, oh, wait a minute, I think I can stay home, brew my coffee, and put it in my own cup. And save that money, put it into your savings account. Use it for a rainy day. Buy a birthday present for someone you love. You know, buy yourself a birthday present. It's just amazing how money just falls out of my pocket. And I didn't even realize I spent it. So that's why I wrote the book. I wrote the book because I listened to a really awesome audiobook about, you know, your spending habits and so forth. And it talked about writing it down. And so I created a workbook that would work for me. And I figured, well, if this works for me, I may as well publish it. And it'll probably work for other people too. Yeah, so anyway, that's one of the books that you'll find on Amazon if you were to put my name in the search bar. There's also a link down below that you can just hit the link and it'll take you right to Amazon. And I haven't set up affiliate. I don't know if you can be an affiliate on something that you created. I'm not really sure how that works. But I see a lot of other people who are on YouTube and they say, you know, click my link and I'm an affiliate to Amazon, and so I have to look into that. Another thing, new thing to learn. Okay, there's that. Do this darker color, and then I think that's going to be it for this section. And all we have is our little ropes. I'm going to make the ropes kind of a pinky purple. Pinky purple. So I'll turn the video off while I select my colors, and then I will come back. I mean, it won't, if you're watching it, it'd be no time at all. I think I'll let my dog go outside and play for a little bit and come back and finish this up. Okay, so I'll see you in a few minutes. Or a second. Depending on how you look at it. Okay, there we go. There's that. Hi, so we're back. These are the 3 colors that I chose. We'll put them down at the bottom of our page. This one is number 80. It's called Fruit Punch. And then we're going to go with Eggplant, which is my absolute, this is one of my favorite colors. This is the second pencil that I have. I had to buy a whole new set just so I could get this pencil. 86, because they don't sell them individually, which is really kind of too bad. I didn't need the whole set. So some of my pencils, you'll see that they're really teeny, and some of them look like they're just right out of the package. It's because I've got sets mixed together. And then this one is 88. I'm going to do a quick little blend down here. Yeah, I like that. This little darker color right up at the top. Maybe that's too dark. No, I think it'll be fine. It's a different shadow. Okay, so I'm going to do all of it like I did before with this light blue. I'm just going to give it a base coat with this light pink. Pink and blue, baby colors. I have a friend who's expecting a baby. Actually, I got a couple of friends who are expecting babies. I know one of them is a boy, and he is actually due on my birthday, which is kind of cool. And another friend, they're expecting a baby, but I don't know if it's a boy or girl yet. Too early to tell. And actually, I've got another friend that's expecting a baby. 3 babies. So this just gives it a nice pink background. I'm not being very fussy, I'm just putting down some color. Okay, there's that. I'm going to go ahead and start putting in my shadows. Oop, that's the wrong one. That's my deepest shadow. That's my lighter shadow. But actually you can see the difference. See, this is darker here than it is here. So it's kind of going to show us what the shadows are going to look like. And then I'm leaving this open area as a highlight. So it kind of looks like they're coming out from each other. So here's another shadow. This is fun to draw, actually. In Zentangle, they've got funny names for their drawings. I think this one is called Huggins, or a variation of Huggins. Because in Zentangle, they don't want you to, have to stress about, oh no, this has to look like, whatever the name of the drawing is. So I think this looks braided, and if it was called braid, people would be like, oh, I can't draw a braid. I don't know how to do that. It's kind of the beauty of the Zentangle. So now I'm just going back over this shadow a little bit with a little bit more pressure. Now I'll bring in my darkest color. Again, I'm not bringing it up to the same tippity top spot that I did the color before it. Just want to get some depth going with these colors. I love that 3D look. It's a piece of paper, but it still looks like it's popping out. Okay, so I've got these in. What I'm going to do now with my darker color is I am going to just use pressure to change the color. So I'm using a darker pressure there, darker pressure here, and a very light, so I can still maintain that light area I just want to accent these little skinny stripies right here. And you can get that just by putting more or less pressure on your pencil. Or you can do it with a different color, a different pencil altogether. I saw an artist one time live. He was doing a painting. His name was William Alexander, and he used to be on PBS long time ago. You could probably find some of his stuff on YouTube. But he was the teacher for Bob Ross. You know, everybody knows Bob Ross, the happy painter, Happy Mistakes. Well, Bill Alexander, he pretty much started that whole wet on wet technique on PBS, and then Bob Ross really made it come to life. He used to say, you have to have the light to show the dark. You have to have the dark to show the light. And he's right. You notice I did this one a little bit differently than I did the one before, which is fine. I'm still getting that shadow. And the shadow is actually built into the drawing too. So if you don't want to do the shadow, you don't have to. It's still there. Okay, I'll come in with my darkest color. Start on this end. A little bit of shadow. See how it makes it bend into there? Love that. So there's two different ways to do it, and they kind of still balance each other out. I think I'll go back to the first way. I think I liked it that way best. But if you didn't know, you probably wouldn't even notice that those two, you know, were done differently. Oh, this one looks like I made a mistake when I drew it. Didn't even notice it until just now, but it's fine. I like that there's humanness in these drawings. You know what you guys could let me know too is if you like, in the silent areas, if you'd rather have music, because I can pop some music in there, or if you just like to have it silent. I know when I started watching coloring is when I was going through the chemo, and I really liked to fall asleep to it, and sometimes the music would wake me up, and so that's why I'm not putting the music in here. But if it is something that you want, let me know down in the comments. Sometimes I've even been known to leave the highlight absolutely white. Don't be afraid to leave white. White is a color too. And I think that when I'm coloring, I often think I need to color the whole thing. And I forget to use white. I need to sharpen my pencil again. Excuse me while I sharpen. I'm going to do it the fast way instead of the correct way. I find it faster to go this way, even though the other way is the correct way. or so I'm told. Here's my dog. Okay, here's the last one. Blend that in a little bit more here. there we have it. We have our finished piece. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing what you have to say down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Thanks for coloring along. Bye.